Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tuesdays in the Shop. Today is December 12th, which I really cannot believe it's already mid December. And as you can see, Andrea and I are each in our own houses because we've officially made it into the next phase of our transition plan. And the physical store in New York City is closed, and we won't be broadcasting from there ever again, which is pretty weird, actually.
I feel like we're still in the transition because we haven't fully cleared out the old space, but most of our stuff is in the new space now, although still in boxes.
Right.
And it's a disaster area. So yes, we're joining you from home today. Not actually in the shop, but maybe next week. Maybe next week we'll be able to be back in the shop.
Yeah. But we're never going to record in the old store ever again.
Nope. That one is done.
Pretty weird.
I know it is. Yeah, it's going to be weird for me to walk in on Thursday when I come back because I haven't been back since the movers took all the stuff away because I've been at the new space. So it's going to be a little hard, I think.
For those of you who are in the New York City area, we're actually going to do a fixture sale. I think it's going to be Saturday through Wednesday next week. I haven't exactly figured out the dates. So stay tuned. We'll send an email out and have all the stuff, but there's a bunch of stuff left to sell out of that space.
Oh yeah.
Stuff to give away too. So stay tuned if you are in the New York City area.
Yes.
But that is not what we're supposed to be talking about. We are supposed to be talking about journeys. So if you are new around here, Journeys are our virtual year-long classes where we deep dive into a concept. And for 2024, we're offering two different kinds. One is the color journey, which is all about color theory, which Andrea leads. And the second one is creative hand stitching journey, which is all about fun embroidery stitches, which Jen Strouser will lead. We're going to explain. Are you crying? Are you laughing because you can hear my cat crying?
Yes, I can hear your cat. Yeah.
I think I should take a segue and show everybody my cat because I only just got a cat a couple months ago and she's so cute and I feel like people want to see her. I'm going to go see if I can get her to cooperate. Hey, girl.
I'm going to leave my cats outside the door because they are very loud sometimes.
Look at how beautiful she is. She's not very happy that I picked her up.
Aww.
This is Jean. I named her after Jorts Jean. Jorts is that orange cat that was internet famous for a hot second in 2021. And Jean is his friend. Say hi. Say
She's just looking at you like, okay, that's it, lady. Put me down.
For murder. Okay, that was the segue. That was Jean. I love her so much. Okay, let's talk about what we're supposed to be talking about. Let's start with color journey since that's Andrea's. I will make you big on the screen.
Okay. I think so. There we go. All right. So color journey, that is the journey that I lead. And this will be, I think, the third time? Fourth time. Oh, that's right. So this will be the fourth time. 2024 will be the fourth time we will run it. And it gets better every year, I think. We use the book. I'm not sure if this is in the right way for you.
Oh, yeah. You're
Quilter's Field Guide to Color by Rachel Hauser, not Hauer. She's the fabric designer. Rachel Hauser is the author. This is a really good book. It's separated into chapters, which I've gone through and assigned chapters and challenges for each month of the year. And we'll show you in a little bit how it breaks down. So you'll do one or two challenges a month, basically. And starting at the beginning, her beginning is temperature. So understanding color, how to use the book. The book comes with, I can't show you this because I've already ripped all mine out, but it comes with 150 swatches, color swatches that it shows you. I just saw a picture of it. How to use this book. So here we go. So here's pictures of some of the swatches that are included in the book, which is very important because, as a lot of you already know, color looks different on different computers, different monitors. So it can be hard to say, for example, the sweatshirt I'm wearing right now is kind of a dark, slightly blue green. It doesn't really look, even on my screen, it doesn't look like what it looks like in real life. And on Yvette's screen, it's going to look different. And on Sandra's screen, it's going to look different. And so everybody is going to get a slightly different version of that green. Whereas if we're all looking at the same color chip, then we can say, I'm looking at color number 96 eucalyptus or whatever. And then that way everyone else can pull out their chip and be seeing the same color. So when you put eucalyptus next to lime, you can talk about them objectively. And so that's one of the aspects that's really good about this book. But also the challenges are good and they're fun. So this is the type of thing, you're not in school. It's not, required homework. You're not getting a grade. Everyone has a life. We understand that. Do what you can, obviously. And if you can't do 1 month or you do it a month later, that's totally fine. It is one of those things where you get back kind of what you put in. So if you don't do any of the challenges, you really won't get as much out of it than if you do them. And there's, at least in the beginning, there's a swatch challenge and then also a patchwork challenge. So the first one, you just use the swatches from the book. And then in the second challenge, you get to use fabric. So she recommends using a bear paw block, but you absolutely do not have to do that. Let me find a picture of it here. You can use any block you want. You could use no block. You could use different blocks for everyone. This is a picture of the bear paw. So here's just a single, and then that's when you put 4 together. So it kind of looks like, claws. So this is one she recommends because it's only 3 colors. I'm trying to get it so there's not as much glare. So yeah, maybe this is better. So there's a light green kind of paw, and then dark green or darker green claws, and then a background. So it's relatively simple that it's only 3 fabrics, and then you can really sort of focus on how those colors go together. We have found that it can be a little bit tricky because they're not in equal amounts. So your paw, you're going to get more of your paw, and then next your background, and then the claws are going to be the least amount of color. And as you'll learn when you go through this, proportion can matter a lot too. You can look at a picture and be like, oh my God, I love the colors in this picture. They're gorgeous. And then you pull out those same fabrics and use them in different amounts. And it doesn't come out quite as successful. But that's just one of the many things we talk about. We start talking about color temperature. So there are warm colors and cool colors, and then go on to seasons. Think of spring. What colors do you think of when you think of spring? Think of fall. Most of us probably think of rust and orange and gold for fall. That one is also interesting because we do have people from different parts of the world and very different climates. We had someone in Hawaii once. We had someone in the desert in like Arizona, Pacific Northwest, lots of different places. And so their idea of spring or fall or summer might be different than mine. So that's also come up, which is also very interesting to talk about and kind of go through and see how different people feel about it. The other thing about this is there's no right or wrong. It's the goal. My goal is for everyone that takes the journey to gain confidence in using color and working with color. I hear
fabrics together.
People say, what?
Oh, I said in putting fabrics together, that's what people are so anxious about.
Exactly. I hear it so often. And a lot of times you do know, like you do have the ability and the, you know what you like and what you don't like. You just lack some confidence in being able to say, yes, this is it, or no, that's not it. So my goal is to get you to work with color enough so that you have the confidence to do that. Walk into a store and, I need a red purple to go with this, whatever. Knowing why some colors are going to work better with other colors and that sort of thing. It's not, we're not doing a master class in color theory. It's a really hands-on, experimenting and not pass fail, but just experimenting and seeing what
fails.
What you find. No one fails. No one fails. Everyone passes. But yeah, experimenting and seeing what works for you. So, I mean, I think it's really fun. I think the challenges, and even if you've taken it before, I think taking it a second time and doing the challenges again, you're going to get something a little bit different out of them every time you do it, and learn a little bit more and be a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah. And since every month we meet live on Zoom and people can share what they did and talk about each other's projects and ask questions and stuff like that. Well, projects is too strong a word, but depending on who's in your group, you can pick up different things. So if you take it once and then take it again with different people, because it's going to be different people each cohort, sometimes you learn from the other students.
You do a lot, just like any class. I think, another student might have a question that you never even thought of,
right.
And seeing the challenge that they do, how they interpreted it is going to, reflect on how you think as well. So yeah, your classmates or your journey mates, I guess, in this case, are, the interaction you have with them is going to be fun and educational as well.
Yeah. So let's talk about logistics of how this works. We host all our journeys inside our Gotham Quilts community site, which is the free membership site where you can chat with each other. The site is community.gothamquilts.com if you're not familiar with it. I'm about to share the screen so you can see what the actual space inside the community site that is for Color Journey looks like. So this is the, oh, go ahead. You should.
This is sort of what do they call this? The table of contents. So here it'll tell you, for January, this is the part that you read, and then this is the challenge. In January, since it's the first meeting, we don't actually have a challenge to talk about. So it's reading, going over the book, talking about how to use it, how it's going to work, that sort of thing, punching out your swatches. And then we get into more of the experiments as we go.
So basically, in January, it's like a getting organized kind of a meeting.
Yes.
And preparing for the first actual challenge, which happens in February.
Correct. Yep, exactly. And then as, they get more challenging as we go. So here is where, if you weren't at the last meeting or, you just haven't been following along very closely, you can always go here and see what you should be working on currently, or what you need to catch up on if you did miss something. So the entire year is kind of broken down here on the table of contents.
Yep. And so we meet live on, this one is the second Thursday of the month, right?
Third.
Oh, you're right. Third Thursday of the month. And it's at 6 p.m. New York City time. So it's 6 p.m. Eastern time. And what I do after the meeting is I save the video out of the Zoom and I upload it into the Mighty Networks. Mighty Networks is the name of the community software. I uploaded it into the community in that month's challenge. So if you missed the live meeting, you can always rewatch it later. Or if you went to the live meeting and you want to watch it again anyway, you still can. And once you sign up for one of the journeys, you'll see that right now I'm in the 2023 journey. It's because that's what's running right now. So there's content inside it. But when you sign up for this one, you'll be in the 2024 version of this, which has its own space inside the community site. And then your meetings will be in there for you to watch, and you'll have access forever, or as long as, the internet still exists.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you can go back and reference it. And another cool thing you can do is people will post to each other. This is a place where anyone who's a member can post pictures of what they're doing or questions or even tag each other. It's very similar to Facebook, except
Right.
that there are no ads
And
and no
yeah,
one's trying to sell you leggings or like get you to join their whatever they're doing
yeah.
or donate to
And
their
it's not
charity or whatever.
spying on you and
Yeah.
whatnot.
So this is an example of some of the posts that the 2023 cohort has put in recently. And I'm going through kind of fast because I just want to give you a basic idea of what people
Yeah.
put
So
in.
here are some people that were doing bear
Yep.
paw blocks. A couple people actually throughout all of the cohorts that I've done, people have been doing Tula's 100 blocks.
Oh, that's such a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, those blocks are good because they're simple. They're 6 inches, so you can, and you don't even have to do the same block every month. You can do a different block, and then that way at the end, you could have enough blocks to
Thinking.
make an actual quilt. Some people want to do that. Some people
Yes.
don't. It's totally up to you. It's
Yep.
it's really a choose your own adventure type thing. If you
Yep.
want to start at the beginning and use the same background fabric for everything so that you'll tie them together at the end, you can do that. If you just want to play and have fun, you can do that too. It is entirely up to you.
Yeah. Some people just pull fabric. Other people make 4 blocks a month. It's
Right. Yeah, and some people you don't even have to sew the fabric together. You can just pull out fabrics from your stash and put them together as
right.
if you were going to sew them. That's fine too. If
Yep.
you don't have a big fabric stash, you can just use the swatches. You can use yarn, pretty much anything that has
Yep.
color.
Yep. Yeah, I really love this class and people get so much out of it. We've had several people take it multiple times, which I
Yes.
think is a really big testament to how fun it is to do.
Yeah. And it's so good for me to see how far they've progressed.
Yeah.
I really get a kick out of seeing how you guys grow. But I've heard so much feedback about how much better people feel about using color and how much more comfortable they are with it. And I can tell just by looking at watching them do their experiments throughout the course of the year. You can tell when someone is confident and when they're like, I don't know. And just watching them grow is really great.
Yeah. I put up the QR code on the screen. This QR code takes you to both journeys. We're talking about color journey right now, but we also have create a hand stitching journey, which is what the picture is. What do you get when you sign up for color journey, Andrea?
That's a good question, Yvette. So we will send you the book, The Quilter's Guide to Color. If you already have the book, you also have the option of choosing a rainbow bundle. Because some of you, if you've already taken it once, or if you just have already bought the book at some point previously, you don't need to have two. So there is an option when you sign up whether you want the book or the bundle, and it's just a 7-piece rainbow fat quarter bundle. So it's
which is not needed for the class. It's just
correct.
another option.
It's
that
not required, right? But we wanted to have something to offer those people that already had the book, and who doesn't like fabric?
Not me.
You can use the fabric in your challenges if you choose. A lot of people have in the past, but it is not required. So that's for the color journey. For the creative hand stitching journey, what do you get? You get a pack. They have a choice too.
Well, let's go.
Okay.
Let's ask the audience. Does anyone have any questions about color journey that we didn't hit? You can
Good
type
idea.
it in the chat and we can answer. If you're thinking a question, somebody else probably is too.
Yep, no stupid questions.
I'm not sure we actually said it out loud, but it runs from January to December 2024. And we ship the package to you to arrive before the first meeting, which is the 3rd Thursday of January. So that means that we'll ship it in early January to you.
Yes. Which is why we have to
cut off
the signups at, a little, what might seem early, but we have to make sure we order enough books and thread packs and all of those things so that we can make sure you get it in time.
Which brings up the reason we're doing this video today. It's because the deadline is tomorrow night at midnight New York City time. That's why we have to close signups so that we have enough time to order the stuff and get it shipped to you so that it arrives before the first meeting.
Yep.
No one's typed any questions, so I think we can swap to talking about the what's the word I'm looking for? Creative hand stitching journey. And again, you can scan that QR code to get to either one on the site, but I'm about to take it down so we can have a bigger screen again.
You're still allowed to ask questions about Color Journey, though. If you think of one in a little bit, go right ahead and type it in.
Time's up. No more questions. I'm going to swap us for Creative Hand Stitching Journey. Jen is who leads that class, and it's all about hand embroidery. She actually made a video for us introducing it, and I'm going to show that on my shared screen in 1 second, as soon as I get it up. That's not a good still. Sorry, Jen. Whoops. Oh, no, I can't hear anything. Can you hear it?
We even practiced this. I can't hear it.
We practiced this. Oh, it's muted. Okay, let's start over.
Yeah.
There's too many mutes.
Hi guys, it's Jen Strouser. I'm here to talk about a program I'm running through Gotham Quilts. This is my 3rd year running our creative hand stitching journey. In our journey, we go through hand embroidery techniques. We are working from Sue Spargo's Creative Stitching Handbook, which is loaded with really fancy, elaborate stitches. Lots of information on different needles and threads. We cover that in our first month, and then we get right into simple stitches. As you can see, my book is heavily notated because we don't go in the order from the book. We go into an order that I decided was more easy to understand and build a skill set, because I'm a huge fan of starting easy and getting a little bit more complicated as we go. So we don't jump right into the deep water of the Portuguese knotted stem stitch immediately. We wait a little bit on that. But it's a 12-month program. Everyone joins in, gets the book and a set of needles. If you already have the book, you can get a thread pack instead. But we work on our project. So this year we are working on 2024. We did this for 2023 too. Mine's not finished because year's not over yet. But we're going to be working on this Stitch Sampler book, which is a great kind of memento of our program. So I've got a lovely cover designed for you. Then we have an alphabet sampler for couched alphabets, which is kind of unique. And then we start in every month, we do our stitches on a little sampler page, so that by the end of the year you'll have a full fabric book with all of your stitches that you've learned and some little, experimental things like different ways to do the running stitch. So I hope you'll join me in 2024. It's a fun group. We have recorded demonstrations for each stitch, so you can look at those at your own pace. And then the second Wednesday of the month at 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. we have meetings, so we can, everybody can make time to join us. If you work, then you can come in the evening, and if you don't work, you can come in the morning, or you can come to both, whatever you like. But it meets on Zoom, so it's perfect for everybody. And we have students this year from as far away as Saudi Arabia. All over the country. You're going to meet stitchers from all over the world in Creative Hand Stitching Journey if you join. So I hope to see you there. Bye.
Thank you, Jen. I'm going to go back to the community site and show you the Creative Hand Stitching community. So same with Color Journey. It has its own space inside our community site. And this is this year's version of it, but you will get access to next year's version if you sign up now for 2024. And one thing that Jen has done a little different is that she has pre-recorded the tutorials for the different stitches that are being covered. So the basics is roughly the same. There's a welcome and how the book works and that kind of thing. But then when she actually starts with the stitching, you could in January start watching videos the second you get access to this. So let's click on the running stitch one. So there's some information about the running stitch written down, and then there's Jen's video demonstrating how to do it.
Okay.
Which I'm just going to fast forward so you can see the idea.
I like to keep my.
I think that's really cool because if she was trying to do the demonstrations in every live meeting every month, she'd be rushing through it, right? Because who's going to sit for like 4 hours to see all the different stitches? So she pre-recorded them and she put them in the space so you can watch them at your own pace. And then once the meetings have been finished, then she uploads the videos from the meetings into the space too. So any conversation that happened in the meeting, any learning from each other, you can still access the same way you can in Color Journey. And Jen actually has something enabled in her space that because I run Color Journey, I run the tech for Color Journey with Andrea. Andrea's the teacher, but I'm the pressing the buttons person.
Because I'm
Jen
not
does
person.
Jen does both on her side, and she's enabled the chat feature on her side. So people actually talk to each other in the chat. She's pretty responsive. So if you have questions, you can always post it in the chat and she will get back to you. The two journeys both start in January. Hers meets the second Wednesday of the month. Andrea's meets the third Thursday of the month. And both signups close tomorrow at midnight. I'm going to put the QR code back up. And you can scan it to get to the site and see all the information. For Creative Hand Stitching Journey, we actually have like 5 options for how you can sign up because we offer, you have to have the book and you have to have the needles. So that's the default option. You get the class, the book, and the needles. But maybe you already own the book or the needles, so you can also pick just the book or just the needles, or you can pick just a thread pack or all 3 things together. So there's many options for this one. There's only 2 options for Color Journey, but we made the Creative Hand Stitching Journey a little more complicated. Sometimes we can't help ourselves.
Usually I'm the one that makes things complicated.
And I'm the one who's like, we don't need this. We don't need this.
Right. Simplify.
Yeah. And so yours this will be the 4th year for Color Journey and the 3rd year for, because Color Journey originally we only were doing in person, right? Is that how we started it?
No, I think it was always online.
It was always online. I don't remember.
Well, if 24 is the 4th one, then 2020 would have been but then we would have started it.
That's what I'm saying. I think we originally had it in person and online or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I think it was always online because that's one of when we found this book, we realized, we can actually do this because everyone will have the same swatches.
So we were ahead of the times because
apparently
we were planning to launch a virtual class before we were forced to when everything shut down.
Right.
Pat myself in the back here. Anyway, that's the story. We have 2 journeys launching in January, but we have to cut off signups tomorrow night at midnight so that we have enough time to order things. And you know this time of year, mail is just crazy. You would not believe the drama that we have had this month getting packages.
Yeah.
Like all week last week, I was chasing a package from Moda. The last 2 days, we've been chasing packages from Container Store. It's just like,
yeah, it's always
because not everything shows up when you think it's going to show up. So we need time to gather the signups, figure out what we need to order from the manufacturers, and then have it arrive and back out to you. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's it for for both journeys. And maybe this coming year we might we might launch even more journeys. Maybe I have an idea for a journey about approaching the quilting on a quilt. Hank is suggesting that we hire vendor elves to assist us.
We'd love to have elves.
Yeah, do you want to come help us? What was I saying? So I have an idea for a journey based on, I used to teach a class in person that was called How Should I Quilt It? Where the students would bring a quilt top that they had finished, or at least the picture of a quilt top. And we would all discuss together how we might approach quilting that quilt. Because often when you're done with your top, you kind of get that like blank stare, like, what do I do now? I don't want to ruin my quilt, right? So this class was all about thinking through the designs and then like drawing them on paper and trying to decide like, do I want it to look like this? Do I want it to look like that? So I have an idea about turning that into a journey. So maybe that'll launch later this year. Maybe. We'll see. She's laughing because she's like, you're not going to do it.
I mean, I think you should do it, but yeah, just
Best at finishing things. So yeah.
right. Yeah, and at the state we're in right now, I'm having a
We've
hard
got
time
a lot of moving pieces right now, and we
believing
haven't
that anything is going to happen.
QuiltCon for January.
Yeah.
We got a work cut out for us.
Yes, I'm still unboxing fabric, trying to
Putting
find
things away.
building shelves, putting things away. Yeah, fun stuff. Getting my workouts though, that's for sure.
Oh, that's good. Get a little more stamina.
I'm not sure about that.
Thanks for coming, everybody. Today, this is all we had to tell you, and I don't think there's any housekeeping. There's a lot less stuff to keep track of now that there's not a physical store to deal with.
Those of you that are in Stash Society, that's going to be a little bit late this month. Right. The fabrics are still in boxes. So I'm working on that as fast as I can, but they're going to be a little bit late. Also, we got our shipping notification that Ravel has shipped.
Yes, Ravel has shipped.
We are told that Deco Glow 2 will be shipping by the end of the week or early next week, which that one's been delayed quite a bit.
And very little communication.
No communication. Yeah, we always have to reach out to them to find out when it's coming, even though it's 2 months late already.
Yeah.
So those two should be showing up soon. I think those are the only ones that we've had pre-orders for that people are waiting for.
Didn't you just get a package today? I thought we were talking about you were expecting another package today for something else. No?
That was something else. That was fabric so I can start making skyline kits again.
Woo! So if you've been waiting for us to restock our sort of classic kits like Athena.
Yep, I'm slowly building up fabric again so that I can make those kits.
We will have them back in stock. We just
Midtown, Athena.
We have to get everything situated. Like the physical process of actually creating the kits requires space and requires you to know where everything is, and for the printers to be set.
Athena is 19 different blues, and we sold. I think we have like 10 blues left after the clearance sale.
I don't know if that's true, but yeah.
Well, it's not quite that dire, but a lot. We're down to a much smaller amount of fabric than I've ever had to work with before. So,
well, maybe not when we first started. I think we still have more than one.
But I didn't have any kits that required 19 different fabrics, so it was a little bit easier back then. But
this just makes me think about how I was like, maybe it doesn't need 19 different fabrics.
That one kind of does, or you just don't get as much variation. It's not as interesting. But even Skyline, that one's like 10 or 12 different fabrics.
It is? I don't think I realized that. Yeah.
Well, there's 4 different blacks or grays for the buildings, and then the black, and then there's yellow, orange, pink, magenta, purple. So 6 color. Yeah. So
you all can tell that my job is not making the kits, right? It's like she knows it off the top of her head and like what color and what fabric.
Yeah. We have very different skill sets. We stay in our lane.
Yeah.
It works out well.
I help when I can, but it's definitely not my job. And so if you say to me it has 12 fabrics in it, I'm going to believe you because I have no idea.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to put the QR code up one more time in case you missed it. We would love to see you in our journeys next year. And you have till tomorrow night to sign up. Tomorrow night, New York City time. So Eastern time. And
bring your friends. It's fun. We've had people do it together. We had a couple ladies that lived on, halfway across the country from each other that were both doing it together, which was really
like fun. A hangout thing.
Yeah, exactly.
The other thing about that is this is a great gift to get for somebody else.
Yes.
So if you know somebody who's your quilting buddy or your embroidery buddy, you can sign up and either have a ship it to you or ship it directly to your friend, whichever one is easier for you.
And do it together. Yeah, that would be so fun. That would be a great gift.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us for another Tuesdays in the Shop, even though we're both at home. We will be back next week with more fun for you. And did we decide what our schedule was going to be for the end of the year? Are we going to do a live like the 26th?
Doubtful. Let's say that.
So we're going to decide what the schedule is for the holiday weeks, and then we'll let you know.
Yes. But we'll be back next week.
We will definitely be back next week. Thanks for joining us again. We'll see you next week.
Bye.